Good evening. If folks can make their way to their seats, we're going to get started. So my name is Angie Cometh. I think I'm the opening act. I also have a day job as the Dean of the NYU School of Professional Studies. And it's really my honor to welcome our distinguished guests, partners, alumni, friends, and supporters. On behalf of New York University and the School of Professional Studies, it really truly is my honor to welcome you all to MCW's 25th Anniversary Gala celebration. Tonight, we gather not just to mark a milestone, but to celebrate a shared journey of impact, growth, and hope. 25 years ago, MCW began as a small organization with a really big dream: to empower youth to become agents of change in their communities and around the world. Since then, it has cultivated a robust network of inspiring individuals, supported countless initiatives, and witnessed the transformation of communities across the globe. A few years ago at this gala, I reflected on Eddie and Khalid. You are yin and yang, you complement each other, and you continue to be a dynamic duo and a great partnership. And there are hundreds of stories like Khalid's and Eddie's, stories of impact. And as Regina, one of our amazing dedicated team members from MCW, recently reflected, MCW is a small dedicated team that punches above our weight, delivering really impressive results. I always think that that's the greatest compliment when we talk about organizations that have such impact but do it in such kind of a lean and kind of nimble way. And so tonight we honor not only MCW's achievements, but the spirit, the resilience, and passion of everyone. All of you have contributed to its mission. For the past few years, I've been able, at the School of Professional Studies, to witness and play a tiny small part in the fellowship program each summer. And what really truly sets MCW apart is the community. Seeing young people grow into confident and capable individuals really across the course of a summer is really rewarding. And that is our shared vision between NYU and MCW, and it's why we're such a proud supporter of the organization and proud to be a partner with all of you. And so last thing I would say is really, despite the real challenges that many of our communities are facing in the world today, we are all filled in this room, I think, with optimism and determination that we can expand our reach and empower more young leaders and continue to build community that's stronger and better. Partners like MCW are so critical to this, and we're really pleased and so proud at NYU to be helping people dream bigger and to dream stronger. And so with that, let us celebrate our past and really embrace our present and look forward to a future filled with possibility. So we don't have glasses, but virtual toast to MCW and 25 years of incredible impact empowering leaders around the world. So thank you, and I really look forward to celebrating with all of you later tonight.
Well, Dean Cometh, it's wonderful to see you and to hear from you and to be in this room with everybody. I'm Morgan Brennan. Not only am I somebody who's on TV covering the wild and crazy news day to day for CNBC, I'm also someone who went through NYU School of Professional Studies, and I myself am an alum of MCW and the Young Leaders Program. I was a participant back in 2008. And first came in contact with the organization in 2005. I'll get to that in just a second. But before I take us through what you can expect this evening, I just want to say, since it is standing room, we do have a few seats here closer to the front, some of the best seats in the house. So anybody who is standing, if you would like to come and lighten your load, there are some seats up here. Now, the first part of tonight's gala will be the program update and the award portion of the evening. I will be taking you through that here for the next little while. After that, we're going to be followed by the networking buffet dinner and a silent auction. This lovely room divider is going to open up to the buffet dinner. I would like to let everybody know that on each of the seats in front of you is an MCW postcard that has QR codes for the evening's program, MCW's 25th anniversary booklet, and, dare I say most importantly, the silent auction, since we are also raising some funds, and silent auctions are very exciting. MCW's on social media. We encourage you to share, post. If you do, MCW Gala hashtag is what you can use tonight for tonight's activities. Now, I just mentioned it, but It's an honor and privilege to be here with you tonight and to be celebrating MCW's 25th anniversary. 2005, when I was a student at NYU, I went on a trip through the late Dr. George Sedaris and the formidable and fabulous Anna Koundalis, who you'll be hearing from tonight in just a little while as well, to Arusha, Tanzania. And that's where, in 2005, I first came in contact with MCW and the mission of this incredible organization. Flash forward several years later, 2008, I had the opportunity to participate in the Young Leaders Program, made some contacts and some friendships, and learned some skills, particularly soft skills, that I carry with me to this day. And I would say the last time I was actually in this room was for an MCW event. I think that was back in 2009. So it's a full circle moment, and I would just say, at a time where I also think I still had a mohawk at that point in time. So things change, and at a time where the world is changing, sometimes daily, sometimes hourly, MCW is a bastion of inspiration and its steadfast mission and what it enables, especially for young people. This former young person on stage with you tonight included, is incredibly special. So, Eddie, thank you for the opportunity to be here and to participate with you tonight. All right, enough from me. I'm now going to introduce a special video message from one of my colleagues in the TV news business, Ali Velshi, who could not make it to tonight's program. Have a watch.
I'm Ali Velshi, the host of Velshi on MSNBC. The 2024 MCW Gala was postponed last November, and I was thrilled to hear that it would be rescheduled for early this year until I realized I couldn't attend. But I cannot sit this important milestone out. 25 years of MCW impact. The organization continues to work with leaders and communities across the world to implement impactful programs in education, health, and economic development, some of which I've seen for myself firsthand in Rwanda. In just the last 4 years, MCW has made a measurable difference in lives and communities all over the world, from providing access to computer labs to more than 6,000 primary school students in Zambia, to providing preventative oral care to more than 25,000 primary school children in Tanzania, to reaching an impressive 195,000 community members with oral health services across Tanzania, to MCW's leadership curriculum being digitized to reach more youth worldwide. An average of 317 community members reached through Young Leaders projects across the world. While our world continues to change, the importance of supporting leaders who are passionate about making a difference in their communities increases. MCW is truly making a difference in the lives of so many people, and there's so much more to be done with your continued support. On behalf of MCW, thank you so much for joining the Gala and for celebrating 25 years of support to MCW's important work. No matter where I am in the world, I will always find a way to connect with you all. Thank you so much for your continued support of MCW.
And without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage MCW co-founder and president, Eddie Bergman.
Good evening to our friends and everyone. Thank you, Dean Angie Kamath, for your warm welcome and for continuing this amazing tradition of this collaboration with MCW and NYU through SPS. There's a picture actually when we go through some of our memories of our first gala, which was 20 years ago here, and the recipient of the first award for MCW was the Dean of the School of Professional Studies, Dave Finney, who then went on to become president of Champlain College, and now it was retired, but was our collaborator in hosting the Young Leaders Program between NYU and SPS. So this is a tradition that continues, and Angie really has embraced this, and really, I think particularly, we really appreciate over the summertime the time that you commit to spending with the young leaders who come in from all over the world, and really personally getting to know them and inspiring them. So thank you so much. And Morgan, thank you so much for being with us and for emceeing tonight, and the memories from the past. I also remember fondly the trip with Professor Sedaris, who I think lives on in many of our hearts, who's also a SPS or at the time SCPS professor. Although Ali can't be with us personally, his daughter is actually getting married this week, and it's so hard to find a date. I would say that one of the hardest things is to find a date that works for everyone's calendars in this room, that we can get this space here at NYU, that we can get Ali lined up. And so, Morgan, we're so happy that you're here, and we have a new generation that's of media leaders that are committed. 25 years ago, a quarter of a century, I guess, the idea of MCW came to be, and Rob Alsbrooks and I co-founded the organization. And we were introduced through Dr. Edward Shills and Dr. Herman Rice. And I see tonight Dr. Rice's son is here, the late Dr. Herman Rice. Doctor's son is here. Where Tyrone? I think he's right in the back. And I saw that your mom was. I saw her name and I was like, is that Jean Rice, Dr. Rice's wife? And then when you walked in, it was so meaningful. So 25 years ago, it was your late father and the late Dr. Ed Shills, Professor Shills from the University of Pennsylvania Wharton School, who connected Rob and myself and Paul, and this is where this all started. So while Rob is not here tonight, he's currently traveling. His daughter, Alicia, is, I believe, here with us. I haven't seen her yet, but I heard she's coming. And I think there'll be some pictures, but I remember when Alicia joined the program as a young child, and she's here representing her father. Tonight, as we celebrate this milestone, I recall the energy and hopes surrounding the first gala that took place 2 decades here ago. And the theme of that gala, we found the program in the office, and Cleta and I were looking at it, and it says, "Building New Foundations." And there's a picture of it on the. So it was really sort of like visionary to some degree, and it's amazing that 20 years later and 25 years later, we've built some foundations. So we're just starting. So local change through global exchange is the vision of MCW. That's a term that was inspired and came by the late Roberta Richin. And Lorette is here tonight, Roberta's sister, and Roberta's going to be in so many videos tonight, but that's the local change through global change is the slogan of MCW, and Roberta came up with that. So we're just filled with gratitude and hope for the future, even though we're in these crazy times of up and down. Today up, maybe. The world needs young leaders now more than ever, leaders who are equipped with the skills, the knowledge, and the passion to tackle complex challenges we face. So we thank everyone for the continued partnership and empowering the next generation of change makers, supporting communities through education, health, and economic security for years to come. Looking back when MCW first started, it's truly incredible to see how this is growing into a global force for positive change. So behind this work is so many people that spend, who are equally, in many cases, even more committed to MCW than I am. Just a part of that group is our board. It's a small board, and the current board members who are here tonight, you'll hear from them later, but Anna Kondulis, the board includes Anna Kondulis, Mark Kemper, Paul Bergman, Rich Miranda, Kabinga Pandey, and Dr. Charlie Robbins. That's our current board, and they're very, very committed and spend so much time on this work. Your deep commitment and guidance have been a key part of the growth over the years. Our gala chairs, I know every year we have sort of like a core group of gala chairs, and some retire, but then continue to stay involved with MCW. The word retirement doesn't really mean that much around MCW. So we have gala chairs, and some years we have new gala chairs who join, and our gala chairs reach out to their networks and have helped us over the last 20 years of these galas in raising over $15.5 million. So thank you to the gala chairs. In terms of our board, I also want to recognize and thank Humera, who's been extraordinarily involved and supportive and involved on our board for, I think, a decade. And there's some photos in here, and just wanted to thank you for everything that you've done for and will continue to do for MCW. We have this evening is really an MCW night because we're going to be celebrating 3 individuals who have been really behind the fundraising, the programmatic, just sort of the champion cheerleaders, advocates for MCW, and you'll hear more from them later, but Lorena, Michael, and Howie, so you'll hear shortly. Your dedication in fostering the success of the young leaders is truly inspiring. And I also want to recognize particularly a couple of the major donors. And of course, every dollar goes a long way. And for those who have contributed anything to MCW, it just means so much. And it's a campaign of just trying to get as many people as possible to support. But the larger donors who have been very supportive of making this work happen, I particularly want to call out and thank the Abraham and Sally Magid Foundation, Richard and Carol Ann Magid, particularly who are here tonight. I don't know where Richard has been extraordinarily involved, engaged with MCW. He's spent time all over Africa visiting our centers. He spends time every summer with the young leaders. And then he is now involved with not only MCW, but engaged with the alumni of MCW. And there's like mini MCWs that are developing all over the world, and they're becoming macro MCWs. And some of them are bigger than MCW. And I think Richard's sort of looking to and getting involved with helping all these young leaders. So Richard, I don't know if you just want to stand so everyone knows where you are, but I want to thank you, Richard, for that. So I know that he doesn't like to be recognized, but if I didn't recognize him, then I couldn't sleep at night. But Jerry, Benjamin, and family, Jerry, Linda, Alex, and Jenna, you're extraordinarily generous to MCW. Jimmy and Debbie Brzezlowski, who have been supportive from day one each year. Thank you so much, Jimmy. And this year, the Cleary, Gottlieb, Steen, and Hamilton, Paul Shim, thank you very much for being a lead sponsor. NYU School of Professional Studies, the Spencer Family Foundation, Michael and Joyce Ettinger, and Henry Schein. And of course, Stan and Marion, Mom and Dad. Thank you. And when we were first incorporated in 1999, MCW was fortunate to have the pro bono support of Proskauer and Steve Kirschenbaum's team. And 25 years later, not only are they still doing pro bono work, but they're still contributing. So with MCW, you not only get to do pro bono work, but you can actually contribute. So it goes the opposite way. So we are so grateful to Steve and the Proskauer, and Michael, Ellis, and team from Proskauer. I also want to recognize the team of the boards from MC Rwanda, Tanzania, and Zambia, of course, the team that makes this happen, that is committed every day to MCW, and you're going to hear from them, in particular, Khalid and Regina and Dorada, Greece, Leon, Maria, and Sharon, and I think Brandon also is the newest member of the team who's here tonight from North Carolina. And particularly, I want to call out Khalid and Regina, and Khalid and Regina, who you're going to hear about. So it's been a remarkable collaboration, partnership, journey, working with particularly with Khalid, and we're gonna keep it going and doing great things together. So our network is our strength, and we've made a meaningful impact and difference in lives worldwide. Gratitude I mentioned to Howie, but also huge thanks to Teresa, Lorena, Lori, Angela for the traditional support for MCW along the way, and Henry Schein Cares and Henry Schein Creative, who's put together a video. It's a lot of pictures, but bear with us because there's 25 years of memories that we want to try to pack in and do a lot. So thank you to the Henry Schein Creative team and so many others. There's the barcodes. I think it makes a lot of sense because a lot of times you print these things and it's nice to have them printed, but then everyone leaves them behind and then they end up in the trash. So Khalid and team came up with this barcode idea, and if you don't get a chance to spend time looking at it, maybe just bring it home and spend time, because there's so much effort that went into the program booklet. There's a 25-year book for MCW. There's the Gala annual report. It's good stuff. And the best part about doing this barcode stuff, if you forget something, you can go in and you can change it, and no one will ever know, and you just press refresh. So it was a lot easier than today than it is in the olden days when we had to not only not have a barcode and have deadlines, but we also had table seatings, which was Howie, I'm sure we'll talk about later, which was very stressful. I also want to thank from Dean Angie's team, someone who's been really like behind the scenes from SPS. And when I was a student at SPS, she had just started working with Anna, and she's now I think she runs Angie's office and all the events. And it's Monica Estrada, who is our host here tonight, along with Angie. And then finally, we're going to hear from Stan and Marion, but my parents, of course, you'll hear a lot, but they've been with MCW from the beginning, and in fact, they are MCW, particularly my mom, Marion, who I think is probably and then my wife, Sharon, who I met through MCW and NYU, and the outcome of that is our children, Nora, Nina, and Elliot, and who are here tonight. And I just want in particular, I don't want to get in trouble from Nora and Elliot, but I have to call out Nina, because Nina was inspired by Coach Butch Hines, who's here tonight, who I hope everyone gets to spend time with Coach Butch, who came back from Zambia and started the tennis program. And you'll see some photos, but it's an amazing initiative of sports and development. And Nina and Nora and Elliot were, okay, well, of course you were supportive, but Nina, like we hear about these fundraisers that she's organizing with all of her classmates, and we said, what? And she's just she's collecting clothes, but more importantly, she's raising funds with her third grade classmates, and the money is going to support the tennis program that her coach and my coach were our mentor in starting this thing. So anyway, thank you to everyone, and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. I have to be those some really good pictures. So you'll meet them tonight, I'm sure. They're Javid and Sima. So thank you, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly wonderful to see everyone here tonight celebrating 25 years of MCW. Looking out at this room, I want to honor the last 25 years by sharing deep gratitude to each and everyone who's been a part of MCW's journey. I started MCW when the organization was just a few years old, back in 2003, and its mission was being driven by a small group of dedicated volunteers and passionate advisors. I've had the privilege to watch the organization grow, with amazing team members coming and going, all leaving their mark on their way. I'm deeply grateful for all of the years that I worked with MCW and introducing me to some amazing people from all over the world. I've had the opportunity to meet young people from all over the world, to spend time in countries like Tanzania, Rwanda, and Zambia, and it's nothing short of moving to see these individuals from everywhere display their capacity for empathy, their dedication to their families and their communities, and the underlying kindness they show when they decide to take a simple but profound step to make their community a better place. I'm grateful for the chance to do the work, to witness the work, and to rededicate myself to the work year after year. And I'm just incredibly proud of what the MCW team has accomplished over the years. This milestone offers us a chance to look back at what we've been able to accomplish together, everyone in this room and those who are not with us. 25 years ago, MCW Global began with a simple idea: to support young people becoming leaders within their own communities. Today, we've seen the initial idea grow into a network that has touched so many lives around the world. Just through our recent programs, 400 students trained and certified in vocational skills, tailoring, and ICT in Rwanda. 100% of these vocational training students are teenage mothers or people living with disabilities, so the most vulnerable. Over 221 children trained in literacy and then re-enrolled into a formal school in Zambia. More than 400,000 community members across Tanzania reached with oral health services through our Community Health Fellowship Program, a key example of how we incorporate leadership into everything that we do to increase our impact. Thousands of young leaders have created countless projects to improve health, education, and economic security in their respective communities across the globe. All of this work is carried out by incredibly devoted, humble, and hardworking team members at MCW, or sparked and designed and nurtured through the Young Leaders Program. Since we started, MCW has invested over $16 million. Muhas Dental School, previously the only dental school in Tanzania, was transformed from a almost non-operational entity to now seeing more than 30,000 patients per year and ranks third across the whole continent. I know it's a big number, but the number of those reached directly by our programs is approaching 1 million, and the lives indirectly touched is immeasurable. Along the way, we've learned so much. We've learned what works, what doesn't work. We've learned what role we can play in these communities around the world, and we've also learned how to be wiser over the last 25 years. I'm more confident today than I have ever been before in MCW's ability to affect positive change around the world. Tonight's theme is looking back, moving forward. As we look forward to the next 25 years, we feel a deep sense of responsibility and hope. And our team has bold, exciting ideas for how we can continue to build the world that we all want to see and live in. I started with gratitude and will end by asking you to continue with us on this journey. Tonight, we're not only celebrating the great work and accomplishments achieved, but thinking about the young people still waiting for their chance, the untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. Many of those in this room are individuals, families, and companies who've donated and supported MCW over the years. My request is that you consider finding time to meet some of the extraordinary individuals who attend our programs. For those of you who are able to, we'd love to have you visit us in Tanzania, Rwanda, or Zambia to witness firsthand the depth of transformation our work creates and appreciate how far every dollar goes to make a difference. For those who don't like to travel abroad and prefer domestic travel, I can assure you that Burlington, Vermont, where we spend our summers, is a wonderful place to visit in July. And you can come meet some of our extraordinary young leaders from all over the world who are attending our leadership programs. For those who don't want to leave New York City, we even have opportunities. For those who don't want to leave New York City or their 5-block radius, right? We even have opportunities for you to meet our alumni at events in New York City. We bring about 50 young people from all over the world every July, and it's a great opportunity for you guys to come meet them and hang out with them. In the back of the room today, we have More Ways to Give table right back there. My colleague Regina and Brandon will be there, and they'll be happy to talk to you about how to get involved. It's not just about donating money. Being involved as a mentor or guidance person is also incredibly impactful. There are two incredible people in the back who'd love to talk to you, Regina and Brandon. Our work is not only a result of a single person or effort, it's a direct outcome of your collective commitment. To our donors, your consistent generosity has provided the essential resources that have allowed our programs to function and expand. To our supporters, your advocacy and belief in our work have helped us amplify our message all over the world. To our volunteers, your time, energy, and dedication have been invaluable in making our work possible. To our global team, thank you for your sincere dedication to the work and communities we serve. A special thank you to Regina Leichner, who is working the PowerPoints and is behind the scenes. She's our Director of Strategy and Impact, and I really consider her to be a partner in every step of the way, leading MCW along with me and the team and the board. Thank you, Regina. And to everyone who's contributed along the way, through guidance, encouragement, or simply by showing interest, please know that every contribution has been important in shaping MCW over the past 25 years. Please join me in enjoying a short video. It's not as short as we hope it is, so bear with us, as Eddie mentioned, to see the many faces. Some of you will be featured in there, and all of the work that we've done over the past 25 years. Thank you.
Since 1999, driven by a passion for positive change, MCW Global was founded to empower young people worldwide. For more than 25 years, MCW Global has been dedicated to improving lives and securing a future where everyone is educated, healthy, and economically secure. Since 2005, MCW efforts have been made possible through an annual Gala campaign hosted at NYU. The inaugural Gala was launched in 2005 with the late former New York City Mayor David Dinkins as keynote. Our MCW family has grown over the years, and because of them, all this work and impact was made possible. Friends, donors, board members, team members, alumni, and so many others, each is at the heart of our organization. More than 400 guests from the diplomatic, business, academic, and nonprofit communities gather each year to celebrate the work of MCW and its beneficiaries. Through our Young Leaders Fellowship, we've empowered over 1,100 young leaders from over 85 countries and territories in the last 20-plus years with the skills and knowledge to address their community's most pressing challenges. In the last 15 years, our Alumni Ventures Fund has provided over $95,000 in grants to over 40 alumni to support innovative solutions and scale impact. Over the years, MCW has honored individuals and institutions that demonstrated a commitment to providing communities with the tools and services to address local challenges. We've invested in education by supporting young leaders' academic pursuits, funding community-led education projects, promoting literacy, and enhancing library resources. To achieve economic security, we've collaborated with governments, businesses, and civil society to foster sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Our affiliates and global team are actively working to mitigate risks and adapt to changing circumstances. Our affiliates have made significant contributions to improving health outcomes, particularly in underserved communities. For example, MC Tanzania's dental therapists' outreach training has reached hundreds of thousands of individuals across Tanzania in just the last 12 years. Since 2021 alone, more than 200,000 community members in Tanzania have received oral health services. with support from industry-leading partners in oral health who provided millions of dollars worth of in-kind donations to refurbish Tanzania's Muhas Dental School. It is now ranked number 3 across Africa, seeing over 30,000 patients per year. Together, we've demonstrated passion, resilience, and adaptability, and we're excited to continue our journey toward a brighter future.
Thank you, MCW.
Thank you, MCW.
Thank you, MCW Global.
That was an incredible compilation. I'm still wrapping my head around closing in on 1 million people directly impacted. I think that deserves a round of applause, too. That's incredible. In a room full of esteemed guests, I also just want to extend a welcome and share some gratitude for Zambia's Deputy Ambassador to the UN, who is also with us this evening. So thank you for coming. Coming to the stage now, I would like to welcome Stanley Bergman, Chairman and CEO of Henry Schein, to present the 2025 Leadership Award. It's incredible because I got to know Eddie back in 2005. Stan's had to deal with me from time to time on CNBC when I've interviewed him in his CEO role. So this is one of those moments where the world is a bagel here in New York City and in general, and MCW is at the center of it. Stanley Bergman.
This is dangerous to give me a microphone to recall 25 years of history. I don't hand microphones back very quickly. So first of all, thank you everyone for being here tonight. It means a lot. Thank you everyone for your contributions. Obviously, it means a lot. Has a huge impact on people around the world, particularly needed at this time, I think, as we're trying to keep dialogue going between people around the world. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Khalid, to you, and where is Khalid now? Oh, there. Khalid, to you, and Regina, Angela, looking at the team. You do amazing work. I'm going to recognize 3 people tonight who have done behind-the-scenes work supporting MCW right from the beginning. But a little, in particular one, who I was going to talk about in a minute, Lorena, has been supporting MCW for 5 years before it was born. So I'm going to disclose certain things to you tonight that I've never discussed from a podium. So when Eddie was about 17 years old, he decided that what he wanted to do, actually he was closer to 16, was to do some work in Africa. He was encouraged by Dr. White, a high school teacher who he'd been involved with since he was 14, to go and do work in Africa. The sad thing about the whole thing was that Dr. White, who did incredible work in New York City and in Nicaragua, was precluded from taking a group of Northport High School students to Africa because the board, whether it was prejudice or whether they felt that they had a legal risk in allowing young people to go to Africa, well, he was turned down by the board of the school, the supervisory board, the school district, and wasn't allowed to take students to Africa, taken to Nicaragua and different places, as I said. And Eddie said, well, I'm going to take a group of students to Africa, high school students. And him and Paul went off to Africa, and Lorena had to make the arrangements on the flight. But also, we needed to make sure that this was all okay. And so Lorena would call people in the diplomatic corps and say, please don't tell Eddie, but his dad wants to know, and his mom, is it safe to go to this place? But do not tell Eddie. And there was a whole series of these things that took place, and in particular with Ambassador Magawaga, who you saw, the ambassador of Tanzania to the UN, who eventually was in the role of leading the peacekeeping troops in Sierra Leone. And this was probably one of the most successful UN operations ever, because they really ensured that there was peace and a handover to an organized government. And so Eddie was heading to Sierra Leone because Ambassador Magawago thought Eddie should come and help him. Eddie was about 18 or so. And I said to, don't forget, Sierra Leone was a place where they just had significant civil war. So I said to Lorena, get hold of the ambassador, please. And just make sure Eddie never finds out that I placed this call. I need to speak to him. So I spoke to Ambassador Magawago, and I said, Ambassador Magawago, is it okay for Eddie to go to Sierra Leone? And he thought about it, and he said, yeah, it's okay, I'll take care of him. And Lorena, where is Lorena? She hates the stuff. Lorena has been doing this kind of work really from the beginning. Please check these places where these MCW people are going. Please make sure it's safe. Please work with security. Please reach out to different kinds of organizations to make sure that there's no real risk. So that journey started, and Lorena, Eddie went. And then Eddie collected a couple of other people along the way. Rob Alsbrooks, Khalid, and a dear friend, Ogo, who is from Sierra Leone. He's not well, and Eddie had the opportunity. People, I think, had been to this event in the past would remember Ogo. Ogo is really not doing well health-wise, and Eddie and Marion just saw him yesterday. And these guys, what was that? 3 days ago. Sorry, my granddaughter will make sure I'm... So, thank you, Nora. So they would go to all these places, these musketeers, Khalid, Rob, and Ogo. And believe me, for those that have children, this is not such an easy thing to say goodbye to your son to go to these places. And in any event, what happened is, through Dr. Schills and others, there was a decision to start MCW as a formal 501c3 with the support of Proskauer and others. And along the way, Eddie had developed these relationships in Tanzania because the original place where MCW started out, Ivory Coast, had a civil war, and he couldn't go there any longer with his team. And there was a new young president of Tanzania, President Kikwete, who just became the president. I don't know how many years this is, 20 years ago or so. And President Kikwete, who'd become, had developed a relationship with Eddie, said he wanted to come to the United States to meet the financial community, because before that he was a foreign minister, but he didn't have any connections with the financial community. So we arranged for him to open the NASDAQ. And we were up there taking some photographs with him, business people around him, and he turned to me and he said, my daughter is a dental student at the dental school in Tanzania, at the Milambini Dental School, and she tells me that the dental school is just not functioning. The equipment is not working. They've got faculty that don't have the tools they need textbooks, they need just a building. So I said, oh yeah, my wife's a medical doctor, she can help you. So I pulled her over on the stage, and I said, my wife will help you. So Marion said, I know nothing about dental equipment. I know nothing about a dental school, and introduced Marion to John Spencer, who founded a very important dental equipment company, and the two of them, together with the CEO of Midmark, went to Africa, to Tanzania, to work on this dental school, which I think Khalid mentioned is now one of the top dental schools in Africa. Behind the scenes, Lorena took care of everything, right from the beginning. So now, as MCW grew, these galas were held. When Eddie wanted to have the gala the first time, and Rob, I said, I don't think this is a good idea. He said, don't worry, and connected with President Bradamus from NYU, and Anna, and Margot Marshak, who was at that time the head of student administration, and they held the first gala here. Howie was the one that worked with them on the very first gala. Howie, where are you? And this is 25 years ago. 20 years ago is the gala. And you know that every gala needs to be organized like a wedding, and we have to have all these tables. So Howie would sit with different people, and he'd arrange these tables. And I would say, it's not exactly right, you're going to move so-and-so here to there. And Howie and Khalid and Eddie and a couple of others working with Lorena would meet every night, the night before the gala, or the day before the gala, and have Chinese food and do the tables. And as we were walking in here, there'd be changes to the tables. Howie, behind the scenes, got everything done from that point of view. Thank you, Howie. You've been there from the beginning. And of course, Eddie's adventures, Khalid's adventures, just grew in terms of magnitude. And at times, we needed to ensure that these were really reasonable things to do, and that we were not taking too much risk, taking people all over the world, traveling all over the world, and bringing people to the United States, getting visas, etc. And Michael Ettinger was brought onto the team to work on this. Michael. Where's Michael? So, Michael, Lorena, and Howie have been working with me personally for Lorena for 35 years, Howie almost 35, 32, and Michael 30. And I felt I had to say these words tonight to thank you for everything you've done, for all the work you've done behind the scenes to make things happen. And maybe I should say this now, for making sure my son came back from Africa alive. So it's been a great partnership. Marion, thank you for going to Tanzania. And you went with Khalid. I know this is quite an emotional moment for you, because in particular this week, 3 days ago, when you connected with Ogo and Khalid, you, Eddie, Rob Olsbrook have traveled not only with MCW, but with the ATA and all over Africa. And the times you spent together, the highs, the lows, it's not easy to get a meeting with a foreign minister or president, but you got that done. And then at the same time, get people to support these initiatives in countries where really the logic that we have here in the West doesn't always apply, but these are good people. I'm going to try to say what I want to say now without getting too emotional. Your dad and I and Eddie, Marion and you, your sisters and your mom, met, I would say, 25 years ago at a Seeds of Peace event, and that set a lot in motion. And when we visited your dad the last time, he said to Eddie and us, please make sure that this partnership or this friendship continues. And here we are tonight, and you're sitting next to Marion. I never traveled. I didn't really travel with you. I went on a couple of ATA events. But you and Marion have shared thousands of miles together, many meals together, and to think, at least on this small part of it, that today there's a top leading dental school operating in Tanzania with software that would apply and be used in any dental school in the developed world, with faculty that are training students, postgrads, in specialty work, including implants, and most recently, 3D printing, is a testament to the saying that President Mandela once said, or multiple times, it always seems impossible until it's done. You guys went on impossible missions and you got it done. So thank you to the three of you. Thank you for what you've done. And we'll do something very dangerous now. You see some other people. But Anna, you were there from the beginning. You welcomed Eddie into your office in his first week or 2 or 3 at NYU. And thank you all for being here again. Thank you all for supporting this. I think there's many more miles to go with a lot of younger people that have now been involved in MCW, are getting more involved, and of course the newer and younger, the newer board members that have joined as well. So thank you all. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
Lorena. This is Ettinger.
Mr. Ettinger. Thank you.
This is Mr. Stapler.
Mr. Stapler. Thank you. So this is the first time probably that we've gotten an event, sort of one of these mementos that Lorena didn't actually have to buy. So. Oh, one last story Lorena told me. I got to tell you this. So there's this initial trip to Africa. There's Eddie, I think Rob, one of Eddie's schoolmates, and Paul. And they're going from Ivory Coast to Benin to Togo. And I think on the way you have to go through, is it Ghana? No, you go directly. But they were going to, they came from Ghana. I don't remember how Ghana fit into this. But Paul had a driver, and the driver had to go through immigration in a different lane to Paul. So the driver got through into the next country. It was Ghana. Was it? No, it was Togo. And Paul didn't, because the border had closed. So Paul calls Lorena up, and she says, and he says to Lorena, Lorena, we can't get across the border. My driver's across the border, but I'm not. So Lorena says, well, you'll have to sleep in wherever you were that night. He says, no, the driver has my bag, my wallet, my passport, and everything. But don't tell my dad. But could you please have Steve Kess call the White House? Where's Steve?
He's right here.
And I don't know what you did, but he got through eventually. But the next day, Steve is head of social responsibility and probably one of the most networked people you'll ever know. Did you try the White House? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next award, and we're going to bring up Chris Pendergast, Andrea Albertini, and Ron Self.
So good evening, everyone. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the MCW Community Partnership Award. That is Deloitte. Over the years, my company, Henry Schein, and I have had the opportunity to work closely with Deloitte. They've been trusted partners and advisors to us. They bring us deep insights. They're collaborative and consistently deliver in the corporate and professional world. But what truly separates Deloitte from the rest is that not only is this important to them, but social responsibility is important to them, and commitment to delivery on education opportunities, economic security, and health and wellness. As an example, through their Global World Class Initiative, Deloitte has committed to empowering communities by expanding access to education, job training, and other opportunities. Additionally, their efforts will also extend to climate resilience and sustainable agriculture. Time and again, Deloitte shows us what corporate responsibility looks like because it is anchored in purpose and driven by partnership, putting people and community first. Accepting the award on behalf of Deloitte is Antonio D'Angelo. He is a lead partner and managing director with Deloitte. Please join me in welcoming Antonio to the stage.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you on behalf of Deloitte, our partnership with Henry Schein in this great initiative. Thank you.
Congratulations to the award recipients tonight. I want to welcome to the stage, I mentioned her before, but someone I have known since I was first a blossoming, budding student here at NYU 2 decades ago. And someone who was a mentor to me, inspired me to pursue anthropology, introduced me to MCW and the incredible work of this organization, and somebody who over the years I feel very lucky enough to consider a friend. Anna Koundalis, MCW board member. Welcome to the stage.
Morgan was an incredible student. Yes, and a great friend. Thank you. I would like to ask the rest of the board members who are here today to join me on stage. I see Eddie Bergman, Charles, Eddie, come on up. Charles Williams, I'm sorry, is Paul Bergman here? Paul is here, and Kavenga Pante. Did I leave anyone out?
Just want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Don't forget we have the silent auction at the back, and thank you so much, and thank you, Anna. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So before we end our program, we have we need 5 more minutes. We, the MCW Board of Directors, would like to take a few minutes to proudly present a special award to an extraordinary individual. And it's a surprise, so that individual is going to find out now. My name is Anna Koundalis, as Morgan said. I have been with this board since its inception, about 23 years ago. I have had the great pleasure of knowing this individual and working with him since he first joined MCW in 2003, when he participated in his first youth leadership retreat. A few years later, he began working with MCW and has been with us ever since. This person is none other than our own Khalid Elachi. So Khalid's contributions to the organization are many. He has coordinated, organized, and staffed all our retreats. He helped establish the MCW's Alumni Venture Fund, managed MCW's finances, provided strategic and organizational support to MCW's community centers and oral health programs. He also took the lead in establishing our center in Rwanda, and this is before he became the executive director of MCW. Since he became the executive director in February of 2019, along with his capable staff and the amazing Regina Leichner, who's in the back managing all the AV, She is the Director of Strategy and Impact. Khalid is responsible for our programming, our strategy, our operations. He guides and inspires his staff. He leads with passion and strongly believes in the mission of MCW. On a personal level, I have found working with Khalid to be a great experience. He takes on any initiative with enthusiasm and purpose. He brings results. He is pleasant and professional. Khalid and I have traveled to Africa on many occasions, always working on some project. He's fun and has a wonderful sense of humor. Who can forget those 15-hour drives from Arusha, Tanzania to Songea, Tanzania? Khalid has made them very bearable. Khalid studied at the College of Arts and Science here at NYU, and he worked in my office as a student worker when I was overseeing student affairs at NYU School of Professional Studies. I have watched him grow, both personally and professionally, and I am proud to call him a colleague, but most importantly, a very good friend. Khalid, would you join us?
No, the only thing I want to say is it now makes sense why all the board members showed up tonight. Thank you.
This concludes our program. We thank you for your support and have a great time.